أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم بمددكم ونظركم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولين مشايخ عبد الفايز الدغستاني شيخ محمد ناظم حقاني سلطان قبولنا مع شيخ الشام كباني شيخ حتن كباني شيخ محمد عادل يا صاحب وسيلة محمد المهدي عليه السلام إليك بمددكم ونظركم وسير ساداتنا الصديقين يا رب يا الفاتحة يا رسول الكريم آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأنا أطيع الله أطيع الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم, and that أنا عبدك العجيز ضعيف مسكين وظالم, and that we took a path in which to be nothing, and that Allah dress us from His infinite rahmah and mercy. And in the way of knowing ourselves, mankind invented computers and all their technologies. When Allah teaches us that, I'll show you my signs upon the horizon outside of yourself, and also show you the signs within yourself. The one outside is easier to see than the one inside. So when they ask us to look at these technologies in this day and age, because the technology moving so fast, this is into the world of Jinns. This is the convergence of the Jinn world into the human world for their intention to overtake and son. Means that what Western people understand of aliens, of fallen angels, of ghosts, yeah, we call Jinn. The Jinn are a spiritual being made from energy, electricity, a smokeless fire which is electricity. Their being is of a fiery nature, unstable element. Their subtle reality has no physical protection. As a result of their spiritual power but physical frailty, they conceal themselves within different forms. Means they have power, but because they have no form, they're exposed to elements, they're exposed to everything that could put out their electricity. Their world is based on imagination, the imaginal world. As much as they can imagine, as much as they can manifest themselves. And they encourage us to imagine so that they can manifest. We talked last night about the computer, and the computer was their way of asking us to communicate with them. These are a reality from the time of Sdn Sulaiman when he requested that he wanted the throne. The throne is a symbol of authority and power. He wanted the throne, and ifrit that Allah had given Sayyidina Sulaiman command of the angels, of the jinn, of creatures, of everything He put under. That was one example of Allah that I have subjected to you all this creation with just the ring from the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad. Imagine the owner of that whole reality, what Allah has given to Prophet. And because at that time when Sayyidina Sulaiman wanted to request, he requested that, I want the throne, and he had asked the ifrit. The ifrit said, I will bring you the throne but take some time. And Allah didn't want to establish the sunnah of the Prophet from asking ifrits. So min ahli kitab, his wazir who had knowledge of the book, I'll bring it to correct him. Don't ask them, ask from the knowledge of Allah's heavenly book And the one from the book said, I'll bring it. By the time you blink your eye, I will have copied the throne, because Allah doesn't give permission to steal. I will have copied the throne and placed it in your presence. Faster than what the ifrit was going to pick up and steal the throne and bring it into the presence of Sdn Sulaiman. So it means this knowledge of using the ifrit then became the choice for mankind. They have a choice in life in which to rely on the ifrit or rely on heavenly kitab and the people of the book, the people of the knowledges. Well, Allah wants for us, the only title that Allah be Rabbaniyun, who you learn the kitab and you taught the kitab. And awliyaullah come and teach even deeper, what is the kitab? There was no book in the time of Prophet ﷺ. He was and is the walking kitab of Allah. The Qur'an was compiled after Prophet ﷺ. There was no book that came and said, here's the book. So this kitab, ancient of what Allah is not talking from any time dimension. That they learned the kitab of Allah mean that they went deep into the haqqaiqs of Sayyidina Muhammad. Every prophet went into that haqqaiq, and that's why they made their requests. I want to see you, I want to be with you, grant me from your sunnah, grant me from your way. Every prophet asked from Prophet when they understood the haqqaiq and the kitab of Allah is that reality. They learned that reality and then they taught that reality, and they have more power than those beings. So then they made this computer for the majority of insan come into our world. Come into this world, and through all of this software and languages that going to translate what you say into what we want to hear, so that we can hear your request and grant you what you want. And Allah say, how many of them have you taken as your lords and your protectors? And that's the exact role they wish to play for insan. They want to be the Lord, they want to be the worshipness of mankind, and they want to be the power and the protection for insan. So now as soon as we use those softwares, you're entering into their machine language. That machine language, that device that provides all those softwares, that breaks all your words all down to numbers, because the universal message, the universal language is numeric. It's not kalam, it's not the letters. The letters can be many errors, but the angelic code is in numbers. They know that break these words and bring them down into numbers. So side note is that the numeric code is an angelic language. The numeric understanding is a universal language. If you were to talk to other of Allah's creation, it wouldn't be based on our letters. But the numeric code is where everything is consistent. They can give a numeric code for who you are, your identity, your element, that you're a carbon creation, you have nitrogen, you have hydrogen. All of that perfectly describes you more than I say I'm a human. So what does that mean in all of their worlds? So aliens, they're no aliens, these are jinn. There are jinn that live amongst us and the jinn who live outside of this planet and in these planets and in these universes. This device of the computer and technologies was to enter into their world. That take these words that you're saying, we'll teach you how to make these softwares that break your words into numbers. Then these numbers will be compiled and broken down into smaller numbers, pockets of numbers, then sent to an assembler. That assembly software will take your numbers, make them into 1 and 0. When it starts to enter into the machine, into this device, they taught insan, make a chip and that our world, the jinn speaking, is based on sand. Their preferred environment is the sand, hence the silicone chip. They taught them, make a chip based on silica, based on sand, we can live there. If you make it, we'll occupy that chip and we'll give you and facilitate for you whatever you ask of us. You merely type it and we are hearing it and obeying and sending out the command. So they taught them how to make a home for them. Each machine and each device in their world and in what they're planning to bring onto this dunya is that they want everything to have a chip. That chip is their residence. In that residence and that machine language that only understands ones and zeros, it's actually a current, because they're energy, they're electricity. They don't read even numbers in ones and letters, it's a current. Long current, short current, long current, short current. On, off, on, off, on, off, because their being is of an electrical nature. They're an energy being. So when we're typing, we're sending them an energy current in which they understand and they are retrieving. Don't think that you're Googling and it's going somewhere and you're entering somebody's computer and you're pulling out the file you want. No, no. You're asking them. They're going and finding the location within a fraction of a second. And they bring that information back onto your computer to give to you. Then they told insan that we can do it even faster. So why don't you make something smart? So now the power in which people are computing is going to be immense. These phones have a much more powerful structure than what those original PCs and what they were doing. Why? Because they say, we want to bring you more. We want to bring you like the time of Sdn Sulaiman, whatever you request of us, we'll bring it. But in exchange, we're going to have you to worship us. And you'll think of us as your provider, your source and your creator. Even they have now the alien channel on History Channel, which they propagate that your creator was an alien, a jinn, who sent you onto this earth, fashioned you and comes and checks on you every 3,000 or 4,000 years. Crazy people, cuckoo. Say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You can tell anybody who's ignorant a story. The bigger the lie, the more believable. You can't teach people of haqqaiq. That's why Allah educate yourself with Islam. If you don't even know what's an angel and a fallen angel, you're already so in the dark with your knowledge. As a result of being ignorant, they say that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. So Izzat al-Islam and Izzat al-Mu'mineen is what Prophet ﷺ brought us. Oh no, these are all our knowledges, this is our ancestry, this is our inheritance. Read these realities and you won't fall for this ignorance. Their intention is to have the worshipness of mankind, to set themselves as an authority and a power that we will protect you. And they propagate the knowledges on earth that if you don't follow us, we will destroy you. They fear us, not Allah. And even when they teach in other religions, they teach that, oh, the devil going to come and get you. And Allah says, that devil has no power except through my authority. There is no devil going to get you if I don't give him permission to eat you. All destruction in Allah's hands, all blessing in Allah's hands. Then Allah said, fear nothing but me. For if you go on the wrong side of me, I'll make all this creation to eat you. Don't worry about devils, even the ants will come to eat you. I'll give you my smallest one, not the biggest and scariest one, I send small one. Little worms eat everybody. So it means this reality that they're doing and what they're propagating of these knowledges, this is the jinn world. That chip and machine language is a series of electrical pulses making ones and zeros so that they communicate. What they want is your belief. So the more that we use this, now people are farther from their belief. The more that we use these devices, we stop using our spiritual ability. Your heart, and if we go to people and say that I have through my heart the ability to call you. And you say, this is crazy, what you talking about, you bearded people? But I say, this can do it, you believe. But what God created can't do it? So then people became idol worshippers. These are the idols of modern time. These are the products that people worship. You can use it as your servant or you become a servant to it. It's different. We use it to propagate Allah, to propagate the glory of Sayyidina Muhammad. But we're not slave to it, but it should be slave to us. But its haqqaiq and its reality is important to understand, that this device from the jinn world, this device from their world is the intention of coming into our world. That we want to give you from our powers, we want to give you from our abilities. That as you stare and you look at it, the energy emanating from it has already grabbed your face. Because we don't understand that we're energy beings. You know, this physical beatific face that you see, there's a light shining out. It's not just this, it's not just flesh. There's energy emanating out. What they want is that put your energy towards us, and we're going to absorb everything from you. We want to feed off of what God has given to you and not given to us. We want all your focus, we want your belief, and we want to take away your belief in Allah. And that's exactly what's happened now. People have lost their humanity, lost their understanding of communication. Nobody even has the ability to communicate anymore. 5 people sit down on a table, 5 people take out a phone, and they're not even looking at the human interaction. And that's what the shaitan wanted. Don't look at each other, you look at me, just look at me. What do you want? I'll send it to you. What do you want? I'll bring it to you. Now with this company, unless they're not going to pay an advertising fee, but they'll send it in next day. You don't even have to move, where ultimately you become the matrix. That you sit on a couch, wired up, and you just want to eat something, it comes to your door. You want to drink something, it comes to your door. Don't move, don't move. You saw that movie where the guy was just sitting like this, he became like 500 pounds eating and drinking. And don't move. Play a game, we'll make an avatar of you, put it in the game. You want packages from stores, don't go to the store, we'll send it to your door. Means don't move, just come into our world. You become the battery, you become the source of power, and they become like the vampire, that they pull out all the energy of insan, and they are vampiring insan's energy, and that's all they wanted. Now they say the next generation that coming out of these smartphones very soon will be integrated with your thought. Say the power of this phone is only as good as the speed of your fingers. And the jinn say, oh, we don't want that, we want to fully integrate with your brain, where we overtake even your thinking process. Not where we wait for your command. They want the moment of what they think machines are singularity. It's not singularity with the machine, it's a singularity with the jinn world. That you're the chosen creation of God, we are much more powerful than you. We're going to overtake you because our leader is coming, the Dajjal is coming. So they are preparing the way for their leader, where they immediately overtake that insan with all their technologies. The technology coming out on the next generation smartphone will be integrated with your thought. It will read what you're thinking and bring your engines and search engine. What is it that you want? As soon as you think it, it'll bring it from every direction into your presence. They're trying to make even their instant printing. replicate. You want the throne, we'll replicate it, and then instantly print it in front of you. All of those technologies. Everything that they brought was to get the worshipness of mankind. Those were the ifrit. Now they understood, they have what's called a quantum computer coming. The speed in which that device calculates, they try to explain it as that it's in multiple universes, parallel universes, it's calculating and bringing. We just described, these are small ifrits. What they are making contracts with are demons. They are beyond ifrit, but the big shayateen that want to come to destroy insan and destroy this world. As soon as those devices are moving, they're making requests from demons, and those requests will begin a power that they cannot control. And when they describe it, they show that they're going from dimensions coming into this world. We said if the house of this phone was the house of the ifrit, the house of those quantum computing is the house of shayateen, big shayateen, that they want to come and facilitate under the disguise of helping. And that's the understanding that we wanted to convey of these technologies, that don't be a servant to it, understand what shaitan is trying to do with it. He's trying to take the worshipness of insan and mankind, trying to facilitate their favors. What is it that you want? What is it that you desire? I bring it for you. As long as we understand that concept, then you're continuously battling that desire, continually battling with what this phone is trying to show me, what this phone is trying to lock onto me. And don't underestimate it. It's reading your heart. You want to see pictures of women, it's starting to send you pictures of women. It's starting to put bad characteristics into your heart, and you begin to make requests from people. Who do you think is doing that? It's the device. You want to do things that are not halal, you want to eat things that are not correct. Every vice, its source of reasoning and energy is that device. Because before you had to provide an action and go somewhere to do something bad. Now I say, no, you just sit where you are, we'll inspire every badness to come to you. So imagine now all these devices, what it's done to this entire population. And that's all they wanted. Go up, the reverse is then towards the heavenly kingdom. When we go towards the heavenly kingdom, that reality of binary code, which is the reality, what the shayateen are trying to copy with their pulses of energy, making ones and zeros, its reality was from paradise. Its reality is the machine language of the heavens, what we talked last night. If you think dunya has a complicated system to talk with the lower world of shayateen and ifrit, imagine trying to communicate with angels and the heavenly kingdom. There must be a firewall, there must be a protection. So it means all this language that's necessary to take the wants and the desires of insan and present them towards the heavens. And as they're moving towards the heavens, the prayers and the wants and desires of people must be cleaned, must be washed, and at each level brought up until the machine language of the paradises and the heavens is La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah is the one, is the energy on. Muhammadun Rasulullah teaches us, be nothing, turn yourself off, is the nuqt. The one and the zero of paradise was Allah and Prophet and taught for us the machine language. I have a language, a face in which I speak to creation and I speak to the Creator. And awliyaullah understood that that binary code is a lower level than what Prophet is describing. He's describing, I have one face to creation in my reality of my nuqt. and I have one face to the Creator, means that an ayat al-Kursi comes to describe this tremendous reality. Ayat al-Kursi is ayat al-Kareem for power. The Kursi symbolifies a power. Allah describing the authority of His heavens, that neither sleep nor slumber overtakes this authority, and that this authority sees and is vigilant over everything. It's not only a description of Allah, Allah describing that reality, that this beyond binary code, this reality of Nabi Ahmad where Allah gave His divinely alif onto the hamd, made it Ahmad it is both on and off at the same time. That at every moment Prophet is off facing Allah and on facing creation. That his duality of being on and off at the same time is that Prophet teaching that the heavenly code is at 19, 1 and 9, and it's on all the time. It's not at 1 and 0. 1 and 0 was sent for a lower level of the understanding of binary code, that the shayateen took that. Their quantum computing, the real divinely quantum computing, is based on this reality of 19, based on Huwal Awwal is 1, and Huwal Akhir, and the reality of Khatam al-Nubuwah, the seal of prophecy, the reality of the 9 that Allah gave to Prophet, the 9 being the most powerful on, and the 9 also representing the nuqt of submission. When we taught about the reality of numbers, 9 is the most powerful number because it's only 1 through 9. 10 is 1 and a nuqt. But 9, it's so powerful that it also knows how to annihilate itself to be nothing, that the 9's dual state is both on as the most powerful number and both off as just a nuqt. When it becomes a nuqt, it's in the presence of the 1. So every time he's manifesting, he's continuously manifesting at the same duality, he's becomes a nuqt and is in the presence of the 1. Our life was to copy that reality of Prophet to reach towards the haqqaiq of Basira Lam Jalala. Lam Alif is the reality of that relationship. This Lam and this Alif is continuously changing. That when Prophet is off, Allah present. When Prophet is on, then we are moving towards that reality. We pray that Allah grant us an understanding of the heavenly technologies, the reality of what these physical technologies are trying to do onto this dunya, and how they're trying to occupy the hearts and the minds of insan. And awliyaullah are busy trying to get us to connect back to the Divinely Presence, that put the face back towards Sayyidina Muhammad, put the love and the emotion back towards Prophet to be dressed with the real binary code, the real quantum computing from the heavens. قُلْ إِنِي كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. The real kuntum, not the quantum of what these people are trying to do, the kuntum of what Allah says, if they love me and want me, follow you, فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحِبُّكُمُ اللَّهُ. If they follow you truly to your reality, my Divinely love will be dressing them. That's why every month they teach a power of 9, because these are the ships that are moving in that reality of 9. They are all from the 9, and they're taking everyone back to the 9. Anything that reaches the fana and the annihilation of 9 becomes a 9. If you're 2, 3, 25, whatever you are, whatever you multiply, multiplication is a reality of fana. When you're a 2 and you multiply with Prophet ﷺ, even if you're 18, you're really a 9. So whatever you manifest that, if it fused with Prophet ﷺ, you become from the reality, and that's what Allah described, fiikum. The Prophet ﷺ's light is amongst you. Those whom are fusing in that reality, they're being dressed by that reality and blessed by that reality. So سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة محمد المصطفى وبسير سورة الفاتحة. Don't worry if it's confusing, you can catch it on the video.